This is always the worst bit. Authoritative. You're stamping your authority all over this. Good grief. That's what's going to happen to your bottom if you don't wise up. Hello and welcome back to the football debate. I am Brett and I'm here with this sexual wank pheasant. This is Michael Norton, back again.
Hello.
Michael, how are you?
I'm alright.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's alright. I wasn't really going to say much anyway. Just was going to talk about my balls.
Football, that is. Because today,
football.
we will be discussing, we'll be summarising the January transfer window, which has just passed. It was mad, wasn't it?
Quite a bit happened this time actually.
Legitimately loads actually happened in the January transfer window.
Usually January windows, you might get a big team here or there try and sign somebody, but it never easily goes through. But a lot actually happened this one.
I know, it was mental actually, because a lot of loan deals generally go through in January.
A couple of deals I didn't see coming as well, surprising deals.
Genuine, but we will get to those because we are armed with notes. And I've hopefully spelled everything right this time, unlike Switzerland last time.
Yep. Switzerland.
For our World Cup preview, which was, go and watch that after this. Watch this now, then go watch that. So yeah, we said that loads of stuff happened. Loads of money was spent by Premier League teams alone.
Just a little bit of money this time round. Not as much as usual.
No, it's £419.5 million.
It's only a small piece of the pie.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's for a footballer.
You could buy Leitrim for that.
Yeah, you could probably take them to the second division with that as well. But
I just meant the place in general. You could buy the island of Ireland for that. That's ridiculous. Like, that's up. It was a 236.7 million last January window, which is a ridiculous amount of money in itself. So that's up, for quick maths, 77.2% from last season. And that's ungodly.
Yeah. And man is still not hot.
Man is still not. Well, man has. I'm not taking my jacket off because it's quite chilly. Actually,
I was going to go on the jumpers there, but I ended up
got a lovely big jumper on.
Yeah, I thought that wouldn't be very cool to start talking about the jumper.
But you'll be warm and not cool.
Yeah.
Banter. Across all of Europe's top 5 leagues, spending accumulated, there's a word, £817.1 million, with 573 total deals being completed.
So there's a wee bit to cover.
A bit to cover. We'll just start with the team that was most active in the window, that being Arsenal.
Being an Arsenal supporter right now must just be the most frustrating, I can't even put it into words, because even just thinking about it, if I'm a Man United supporter, I was going through that, but basically there's a lot of, it feels like there's a transition within the club that needs to happen, but
Michael, trust me, you could be
a Newcastle fan
and be a hell of a lot more frustrated.
Because there's a lot, the Wenger in right and the Wenger out.
Yes, I understand.
Is he throwing enough money? And then on the side of that, you've got players within the team that look as if they don't want to be at the club, or there's no real security there. They know if they're even going to stay at the club.
This is the deals that they made though are proper Pez deals. Obviously broke the transfer record to bring in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
There was ended up having a wee bit of a bad boy reputation.
A bad boy reputation. You think he'd be in demand? Well, I assume he was in demand for a lot of the top teams. Well, not to say Arsenal aren't a top team, but the likes of Real Madrid were touted for him in the summer. Bayern probably, because they buy everybody.
Yeah, that Dortmund kind of turned into a feeder club for a while.
Yeah, for Bayern.
For Bayern Munich.
But Arsenal got him for a reported around about 60 million pounds. For 20.
When you think as well, what other transfers are going to get to, how much certain clubs pay, Liverpool, how much they paid for transfers there as well, and
that seems
for a striker, he has a very good goal ratio. That's still not
that seems unbelievably good.
I know
business
he's
for
28, 29.
Yeah,
but that's a player currently going into his prime. We're in his prime at the moment, and paying that kind of money, especially if the amount of money is floating about in the window now, that's
unbelievable business from Arsenal. Aubameyang with 172 in 213 games for Dortmund. That's an unbelievable strike rate. This leads on to the question now: with Alexander Lacazette.
Yeah, Lacazette, they bought in the summer
for £50 million.
Yeah, 50 million. At the time,
Are you
the record.
just going to leave him on the bench now?
Yeah, it's been a strange one for Lacazette because he's been in and out of the team, and I always say, as you know, an Arsenal fan probably explain it better, but like, where it's went wrong or why he's not had the start Arsenal fans thought he was going to have. But is it Wenger's fault? Like, is he not played in the right way, or
the thing is
he too in and out of the team with Sturridge?
The way that Lacazette can play on either side, either side of a front three, so I assume that he's going to be played there, but I assume he will not be happy to be played there. Because they were expecting him and Aubameyang. I assume they're brought in to do the same job, get around 15-20 goals a season, and it's going to be much harder for him to get that amount of goals from coming in from wide. If you have the chance to sign Aubameyang, you sign him, obviously. But I don't think that that's mainly where Arsenal's struggles were, especially because of the Alexis Mkhitaryan swap that occurred.
Well, I think this was like the biggest talk of the transfer window.
The biggest saga that went on and on.
Portrayed in the media, but what's going to happen is Mkhitaryan, because Mkhitaryan at the time, Mourinho had him in out of the team, then he was not travelling with the team, and that was all the rumours, like is he leaving, and then Sanchez for a good... since last summer, everyone thought Sanchez was going back to join Pep.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. It was the whole, just when's he going to join, basically. That was what everyone thought. Like, is it going to be now? Because then, as the contract was running down, everyone thought, he's just going to join in the summer. And now, where Mourinho comes in and just...
it says, we'll have him for you're a United fan, so you can speak on this better than I can as a neutral. Are you sad to see him go, Mkhitaryan?
I always rated Mkhitaryan. Well, I thought he was great, especially last season. I thought he played a massive part in United winning the Europa League. Like, he was a key player in that team. He scored really important goals for us in that tournament. We wouldn't even have Champions League this season if it wasn't for him and a couple of other players who really played their part in Europa League. But it was a strange one because you could never tell. It's one of those ones where you didn't know if he was unmotivated because of, was it because of Mourinho at times playing him in and out of the team, and Mkhitaryan at times, because there was times like he was on starting, but he would be taken off after 60 minutes or something. He just didn't look happy with that. He didn't look as if he really settled within the team. But at the same time, if he felt like he didn't want to be there, was still unsettled, and you have the opportunity to sign Sanchez, because Sanchez, is to me one of the few world-class players in the Premier League. He's proven it. So like if you're going to lose Mkhitaryan, well, I think as a United fan, okay,
the more than ample replacement.
You're more than happy enough getting Sanchez as part of that deal, and I'd say it was a win-win for both clubs, because Arsenal were getting rid of a player he looked uninterested, didn't want to be there anymore, and are getting a quality replacement in Mkhitaryan. He can put in a shift.
He seems to fit their style of play a lot better.
Especially if you sign a player like Aubameyang, and you look at players like Lacazette who will be wanting.
They need that service.
Yeah, he needs that service because he's not the kind of player he's going to start deep and Lacazette and pull forward as holding the ball, but.
Plus, Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang played together at Dortmund, so they have that understanding. Against Everton, he made his debut. Mkhitaryan got three assists on his debut.
And Mkhitaryan won Bundesliga Player of the Year this season. He was with Aubameyang, and in total, obviously Royce was on one side as well, but the amount of total goals that front three scored.
It'd be frightening.
So as an Arsenal fan, it's pretty exciting to see those two reunited.
That's mainly who Arsenal brought in. They brought in the young Greek centre back as well, whose name Mavropanos, I think his name is. I've never heard of him, and neither have you. So
that was the first signing Wenger made, which came with some backlash because I was at the very start of the window. It was like, what is Wenger doing?
Yeah, who is this lad?
This is going to help us. But
I don't know.
Wenger kind of made up for it, then obviously they
but with Giroud going out to Chelsea, Walcott going out to Everton, Coquelin going to Valencia, Debuchy just at the end, so they lost a lot of squad depth in there. Plus, there's players like Wilshere's contract's up at the end of the season. Mertesacker is retiring at the end of the season. There's going to be a lot of work to do in the summer.
There's still a lot of work to be done. I feel Arsenal, especially I think they're just so inconsistent defensively.
That's the thing. It's like I can understand the argument of if you have Aubameyang there available, you sign him. But for Arsenal, they still have that back four and that goalkeeper.
And I think even I have been seeing online, especially from a lot of Arsenal fans, are starting to come in a bit impatient with Peter Cech.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, but he's been very inconsistent. I feel this season for Arsenal. For such an experienced keeper, like I know, even the best keepers know here and there are always going to have like one or two blunders. It's everyone's human. But it's somewhere I think even if Wenger's even going to be at the club still next season, he may possibly have to look at.
So what do you think about Arsenal's transfer business? Let us know in the comment section below. I was going to call it something else, but it's just a comment section, so that's what it is.
Comment box.
Comment box.
Why hello there. It's Brett from the future. Ooh. Yeah, basically, just a little heads up. During this video, the battery on the camera ran out because I'm an idiot and don't know how to prepare things. So I changed the battery and I kind of forgot, because I am a professional, to check the focus. So the majority of the rest of this video is going to be slightly out of focus. So that's annoying. That's really, really annoying. If you squint though, or turn around, it's fine, you don't even notice it. So just as a heads up as to if you're wondering why this has happened. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't detract from the rest of your no doubt enjoyment of this video. So sorry, and back to past boys talking about past things.
Chelsea.
The most imaginative chant in all of football. Chelsea, what in the name of Christ was their transfer?
It's so strange, like the way it started. And when you hear all the paper rumours and everything, but
yeah.
you wake up on your Monday morning, first day of the transfer window, and you see that Chelsea are linked with Peter Crouch, Andy Carroll,
Ashley Barnes,
folks. Like,
what the hell is going on?
They signed Morata in the summer, obviously, and it gets through then, but they have Batshuayi, who's has been consistently good off the bench, and when called upon, and like when they've been playing him in the League Cup, etc., he's
banged. I believe
they got through. They did okay. They beat Arsenal in the semi-finals, but when they are playing like the B-side more rotation players, but
I don't understand. I mean, they finally settled on Giroud, which is fine. I think he's 30 and costing 20 million.
After all the rumours you heard, they got Giroud, which it's a good signing for rotation. Fine. Like the Morata, Giroud, he was always like Giroud as well. Like for times when I think a lot of Arsenal fans thought he should have been starting when he was in the bench, starting the bench a lot. He had a very good goal ratio coming off the bench.
He gets a lot of flack from Arsenal. He got 105 in 253 games for Arsenal. That's nothing to be sniffed at. I don't understand the hate that obviously Arsenal fans are right. Arsenal fan TV is going to sully anyone's opinion, so it shows that you're a bit fickle, Arsenal fans, and that's a generalisation, but it's not. So he got a lot of flack, and I didn't really understand. I always would have happily had him at any club I would have.
Like I'm pretty sure Newcastle, you wouldn't mind it, Giroud.
I would have happily taken Giroud.
He wanted to score over currently more than 4 goals
yes,
per season.
Than that Clampett, who we currently have starting, but that's another
chance to stay up. But no, I think it wasn't any good business for Chelsea. But
he's not going to start, is he?
Yeah, but that's the thing. That when you're saying like to make that deal happen, Aubameyang had to go to Arsenal. Batshuayi had to then go to Dortmund on loan. Yeah. So it was like a cycle. All these deals had to happen before then everything they fall into place. That's the thing. When they were looking at the time, it was like they were with Crouch and Carroll. Yeah, you could tell they were looking for a player a bit more like different approach. So like Conte probably he is looking upon it like if they were like couldn't kill off team, or even just looking to kind of mix things up. They didn't really have a plan B in the bench.
Yeah. But it's like they've gone into Football Manager and just put on the filters 6 foot plus, please.
Yeah, someone that can hook the ball in the last 10 minutes to try and grab yourself.
Big Bas Dost. There you go. If you wanted a big target man, he is my boy, and he will score you goals.
But I think the strangest thing for Chelsea just in this whole transfer cycle was you could tell at all throughout all the rumours coming out who they're trying to buy. They were never looking for say an up and coming potential youth player. It was always like say Crouch, Carroll, Giroud. They're all 30 plus age, and you could tell they were looking for a player with Premier League experience to obviously to be a rotation for Morata, but
the thing
they clearly weren't looking long term with this deal.
no,
but
especially with
at the same time,
the amount of players that Chelsea had in general, you think there's somebody in there.
My biggest grip is just more. They have so many like youth players they loan out from other clubs, and the fact that Batshuayi they loaned him out.
Yeah,
As he proved it in his first game for Dortmund, he scored he got 2 goals.
2 goals and an
An
assist.
assist in his first game, which he can make an impact. Like he's a good player.
He's strong.
Yeah,
he's quick. He's young.
and he's 24. It's not like he's like coming through the ranks.
Yeah.
Still, he's at that stage in his career. He's 24, and he can become an
The thing
established
as well,
player.
like, I don't understand. Like, they paid 32 million for him initially, but then they're like, oh, he doesn't have the experience. Blah blah. He's still young. Like, he was playing for Marseille and scoring goals for Marseille. I mean, like it's the French league, says me, who's not, who could like, never even get into the under 18s of a French league team. But it's Marseille. He's scoring goals in Europe. That's European competition. He's scoring goals.
Yeah, I think it's a good deal
In the top league in Europe.
I think the Drew deal as well. It's only 18. Is it an 18-month contract?
18-month contract.
With
Yeah.
Option as an extra year renewal. So clearly, like, Chelsea themselves, obviously, they know what they're getting with Drew.
Before they signed Drew, they were obviously in for Edin Dzeko as well, and as part of him and Palmieri from Roma as a joint deal. 50 million, I think they were looking for the two of them, but they couldn't agree on wages and playing time for Dzeko, which Dzeko shouldn't leave. Why would he leave? He's starting for Roma and he's scoring goals every week. Don't know an awful lot about Emerson Palmieri, but he seems to be highly rated enough. But it gives that squad much needed depth, which they would have if they would stop sending out the likes of Chalobah and Masonda and
That's when Sonderland as well.
he's a lad at Crystal Palace. Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
That's the player I was going to mention as well. Like they loan out Loftus-Cheek, shows a lot of potential, and if I'm quote me wrong, he also got called up the England side.
He did.
During the friendlies,
he seemed to impress.
He was actually really shined. He was the one of the players that showed him the pitch, and it just makes you think then.
Seems like Nathan Ake defensively, they let him go on loan as well. But just speaking of the midfield role, they brought in Ross Barkley for 15 million or so, because his contract's up in the summertime.
See, the Ross Barkley deal for me is strange, just because.
Very odd.
What was it? The summer window, he was about to sign on. Was it deadline day?
I think
but
so,
then he pulled out the last time.
Yeah,
during the medical.
Apparently, he had the medical then.
He had the medical then.
No one, I think,
because he had a recommendation from his agent that now it would be a better time in terms of getting money. If it was like, I think it was something to do with the signing on fee. It would be a bigger signing on fee if you waited to January, because then his contract would have ran down and then there's more opportunity then.
You'd really
rather than a transfer fee.
You'd really hope that's not the reason.
But it was just strange to begin with. And now he's at the club. In his first game as well, it was against.
It was the League Cup.
It was in the League Cup.
It was his full debut at least.
And Conte, really bizarre for Conte too, because he doesn't usually come out, in full force talking about his players the way he did. He usually comes out protecting his players, but with Barkley, he just literally came out and said he was lazy and if he wants to be part of this team, he needs to work for it.
He needs to prove
but
himself.
it was as if the manager was saying, like, I didn't 100%.
He's not mine.
Make this decision for Barkley to come to the club. So he's basically now saying that, as if he wants to get better within the team, he has to,
really work for it. The thing about Ross Barkley is, right, obviously he came to prominence a few years ago and everyone was like, oh, he's had one good game, therefore he's worth 15 million.
Yeah, but he has really shown a lot of potential.
He showed, but it's in dribs and drabs. He's never been consistent. And I think you can't be seen on that level without the consistency that is required. I think there's a lot of hot air about Ross Barkley, personally.
I think he will be made.
I think he'll be
better at Chelsea with the players around him.
Yes, I think so.
At times, but I don't think he's consistent enough to be at that level.
No.
I think he's great for like a mid-table club.
Oh yeah, like
if he can get games week in week out, he would be great. But
I'd say
a team like Chelsea, who demand such consistency from top players, I just can't see Barkley.
Give it another year and it'll be sent out on loan.
As a Chelsea fan, what do you think? Do they need to invest more, or just have more belief in the youth players coming through and giving chances, or as a manager at Chelsea, does say Conte, he cannot risk that. You think like in his mind he's like, well, I know the players are there, but but I can't risk going into big the games. Like basically the pressure as a Chelsea manager, can you risk bringing for you?
Yeah.
You need instant success.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he's fully invested in the dynasty of Chelsea. It sounds more like I'm just placed here.
This is a job.
This is just an our job to me. It doesn't sound like he's in love with the club to the extent like he wants to fight with the players. It sounds like more like I'm just here to coach the players.
I think it's he feels undermined though as well.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Let us know in the comment section down there. The comment section, not anywhere down. I just realised where I'm pointing to. We move to Merseyside with Everton, who were, I'd say, relatively active in the old transfer window there.
Yeah. Again,
bringing in
Everton's a club. Probably as an Everton supporter as well, you could probably talk all day about the way the club has been, just the dealings that have been made, the way the club's been run.
I think a club record signing for Cenk Tosun from Besiktas. I saw him in his first. Who did they play? I can't remember who his debut was against, but I remember watching the game and he looked. He didn't get an awful lot. He did a lot of work off the ball, is what I should say. He seemed to work quite hard. That's what he seemed to get with him. Theo Walcott for 20 million from Arsenal. I think that's fine.
I think under Sam Allardyce, especially at the moment, he's made a good impact within the team. Because his first game he got an assist.
He scored two goals so far. And that's only in 2 or 3 games.
It looks like on the right hand side he has made an assist, and he seems like he's fit it right in.
Yeah, it seems like he's actually enjoying playing again.
Yeah,
which is good. Like I don't know. He seems a useful addition to an Arsenal side, but to an Everton side, I think he could be a star.
With Walcott, again, you know what you get. Like he's not going to be a 20-goal man or anything.
No, but he'll work. And he's still he's lost a step. He's still got pace. Yeah,
well,
and pace will. In a lot of situations, pace will get you out of it. Pace will override skill in a lot of situations.
I feel like something Everton's been lacking too going forward. There's and to give us that option again.
Yeah, exactly. And they brought in I can never remember. Mangala. They brought him in from Man City on loan, who I think will be fine. I think he's a very good addition, but against Arsenal he looked like he'd never seen a football before.
See, I think I'm going to slightly disagree and I still, like, when City bought him, they thought they were, he was great at Porto, but it never looked like they got half the player. Like, he just never looked like he could settle within the team, and it was so inconsistent. And I think with Everton getting him on loan now, I think Everton are basically just saying, well, if the opportunity is there to sign him on loan, we'll take it, but we don't even know ourselves if he's going to be good enough to help us better defensively. But it's a risk they're taking, basically.
I would rather play him over Ashley Williams and Phil Jagielka, to be honest.
No, that I agree with that.
Like, it's the same with Walcott. I think he's a useful addition for any top side, but for this Everton side, I think he'll be a standout.
That's the thing, I suppose, with those kind of players, being such big clubs and the pressure week in, week out, and they're the kind of teams too, especially like as a United sport. Like, if you go on the Man United forums after, like, say, Martial has one bad game, instantly in the forums you get all these supporters are like, oh, Martial out. Like, he should be sold. He's not good enough for Man United. But then the next week he'll score a hat-trick and the club are behind. Those fans are behind him again, saying, "Oh, he's the best thing since Ronaldo." It's strange, but
plus, if you're in a team like City, the game time is going to be limited.
Yeah, but my point, Megan, was with players like Walcott and Mangala, and I go in a team like Everton. Like, I'm not undermining like the size of the club, but they're allowed more freedom and probably feel like they can enjoy themselves more.
Yeah, because
like, say Walcott going to Everton, he's not having that feeling like, oh, we're pushing for a title race or anything, So give him.
Plus, he gets a chance to be the star man on that side. As well, there's the incomings. There's quite a lot of outcomings at Everton. A lot of kind of first team. Well, I guess first team.
There was a lot of first team fringe players.
Yeah, a lot of players that they useful. Like Barkley, we already discussed. He went going to Chelsea. Mohamed Besic going out on loan to Middlesbrough. He's way on loan. Aaron Lennon permanent to Burnley. I should say. Ademola Lookman to Red Bulls.
I thought that was an interesting one.
Such a weird one. He scored as well on his debut.
Yeah, and straight away Everton fans questioning why did we loan him out?
Yeah, I always liked him. Like, on his full debut, was it against? He scored on his full Everton debut.
And they also signed him for 11 million.
Yeah, signed him roughly like that from Forest, I think.
Yes,
Forest.
I think so.
Keep it. He seems a useful addition. Kevin Morales as well. That one, going back to Olympiacos on loan, that was very odd, because I thought he was a guaranteed starter on that side. But then again, maybe this season he's not been as.
He's a player as well.
Like,
how long has he been at Everton now?
He's like 3 years, I think he's been there now. And I suppose he's never really established himself as the main man in that side. And then Sandro Ramirez he's on loan to where'd he go? Sevilla? I think Sevilla.
Yeah, it just didn't kick off.
No, not for him.
More at all.
I predicted big things for him at the start of the season, and I have been proven to be an idiot. So have they? Do you think that's kind of rectified their summer dealings a bit?
I still think they need to replace Lukaku.
Yes.
I just feel like there's no that position's still open.
Yeah, it's absolutely
vacant,
still open. Yeah.
For someone to take it from the team. But I feel like they haven't. Basically, the way you look at it, they got, was it 75 million?
For
Lukaku, and I feel like that money
was kind of
down the drain.
Plus, they have that takeover. They have new owners now, so they're not exactly short of money. Hence, why they spent so much money in the summer.
I still think there's sort of be done, but it's more. I think probably as an Everton fan, do you think obviously Big Sam, is he the person to take the club forward? They'd be challenging for top 6. They start, then go from there. But
I think it's a fine project at Everton. I think they just need to kind of get the pieces right.
I've always liked Everton as a football club as well. I've always loved, even back when Moyes was at the club. But they've always gave players a chance. Like even now, the players like Holgate and all coming through. They always do. They always have been known for this system, and they're a club I always like to see do well. But I think there's still a bit of work to be done.
Staying in Merseyside
to the red side this time.
To Liverpool with arguably not arguably, it is the biggest deal of the window with Philippe Coutinho for £142 million to Barcelona. This baffled me a bit. I don't understand.
But I feel our Liverpool fans probably seen this coming. It was only a matter of time until Coutinho was making the switch to Barcelona.
Don't get me wrong. Someone comes to you with £140 million off one of your players. You think, I'll have that.
Yeah.
Especially because he made it abundantly clear he did not want to be at Liverpool anymore. The thing that baffles me about this deal is Barcelona are currently, I think, at time of filming, 11 points, maybe 14 at this stage, clear in La Liga. Coutinho, they're good. So they've won that. Champions League, they're always going to go deep. I don't even think he can play.
He's not even eligible because with Liverpool also been Champions League.
He's already played. He's essentially a backup for Iniesta, so they can rest Iniesta. They could have waited, because if they'd still waited to the summer, I think they would have still been interested, and Liverpool would have still got use out of him, and they still would have got the same price for him in the summer.
Yeah, because Coutinho would have it just makes me feel that Coutinho just desperately wanted to get in, move to Spain more than anything. Because at Liverpool, he's going to get more game time. He's going to get Champions League football still, make a good run with Liverpool, and not also that, but with the World Cup coming up, I feel like at Liverpool he knows he's going to get the time and. Not that, but he's going to be a key player within Liverpool at this time, with all the competitions they're competing in, and and sort of produce they can have the agreement in place for them to move in the summer, have the deal done, but for the player they go and.
Although I think the Naby Keita situation,
like the Keita deal at the moment, with Liverpool, the agreement that he's going to move in the summer, but.
Although I do think though if he's brought in for that amount of money, he's going to get game time at Barcelona purely because they've paid that amount of money.
I'm not saying when he goes to Barcelona he's not going to get game time. It's more just because of the Champions League. And
I think they see him as a natural replacement for Neymar.
Yeah.
Which not entirely sure.
The main question they asked me are the money they've made now in Coutinho. What have they put? Where have they invested that money? And the first one also they talk about is Virgil van Dijk.
Big Verge for £75 million.
A player as well, reportedly back in the summer, Southampton took them up for almost having up the player.
Yeah.
And Liverpool kind of just then
sorry.
Come out and just apologised, and then it's gone from there. And Liverpool then kind of just respected. We'll just.
And now it's fine apparently.
And now you're back in. But Van Dijk as well was.
Considering that Van Dijk, right, at the start of the season, he wasn't being played at Southampton because he was like huffing and that because he's a child seemingly.
Yeah, and he had to train the reserves.
Train with the reserves, which is fair, which is fine. Comes in, plays a few games, and he's apparently still worth that amount of. Well, a player is worth what someone is willing to spend on them, I suppose. But £75 million.
I think just the way things are going.
I mean, this market is inflated, but £75 million.
I think the way things are going though in today's transfer market, especially in the Premier League, that most teams like every team's looked upon as a rival now.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You're selling to a rival.
The amount of money now in the Premier League with TV rights and everything like that, but you always seem to be the past few seasons at least anyway. You're having to pay over the odds for any player in the Premier League.
Yeah,
I think if you're buying from another Premier League club, which is I think crazy amount of money, but
I think that will kind of calm down. It's just this Neymar deal has pushed the market.
It just
right
completely
up.
inflated the market. I think it's more because it's in January. It's more at this point next season.
Yes,
you'll be able to find out has it been worth the 75 million because
Well, he got a goal on his debut. That surely counts for something.
Yeah, against Everton as well. So
in the
to a Liverpool fan, that must be pretty sweet.
So why didn't they go out and sign another defender or another goalkeeper?
Yeah, that's the thing with Liverpool. Liverpool are obviously
going forward.
They
are frightening.
They're frightening going forward, but it's the balance within the team. If you're so attacking minded, how can you?
I mean, Mignolet and Karius, they're both backup standard as far as I'm concerned.
And Karius at the minute has he's first team, but for how long until Klopp decides to mix up again with Mignolet?
There's one position you can't be swapping constantly. It's your keeper.
Yeah.
Make a decision. Who's your number one? Who's your number two? Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why Klopp has.
But do you feel they need more defenders? But
absolutely.
I think from what I've just gathered from friends I have as Liverpool fans, who now is going to be Van Dijk's partner in crime, basically. Who partnership going to be? Because before Van Dijk came, fans were pretty already certain that Lovren is not good enough for the club.
Ragnar Klavan.
Is it just going to be Matip when he?
Joel Matip. Matip is. When Matip came in, I thought that was a big coup for Liverpool, but thus far he's kind of underwhelmed, and I think that he's the best of a. I don't want to say bad bunch, because I would take Lovren personally, would not take Klavan. I think he's clump it.
My point of view in Liverpool at the moment, I still feel like when you talk about building a strong first team 11, I still feel like the spine of the Liverpool team needs majorly improved. And on top of the spine, I mean from keeper, centre backs, just right up
into the midfield.
Because with talks now of Amir Can being linked away.
He's going to Juventus. Yeah, his contract's coming up at the end of the season.
I feel like Liverpool in the summer I suppose with Keita coming in this.
Yeah, he's an absolute
within the spine of the team.
That's fantastic.
I feel like defensively within the when you're talking about that, it still needs vastly improved. And I think it's more Klopp. I think Klopp feels like he just at this moment in time he can't get the players he wants. I don't
think Liverpool would have a problem attracting players.
It's more also I think Klopp as well, and he wants to get value for his money. Yeah, you say. But
just speaking of Liverpool's attacking prowess, they have let Daniel Sturridge go out on loan to West Brom, which I am thoroughly angry about because he was supposed to go to Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle. That was an interesting one because
but he wanted to go to West Brom for family reasons.
Alan Pardew.
Bloody Pardew. That is a ridiculous move for West Brom. I think they've done exceptionally well there.
They've done well if he can stay fit.
If he can stay fit, that's always the thing about Daniel Sturridge. If he can stay fit.
He needs to have himself bubble wrapped when he's not playing football because
the
man sneezes and he's popped the hip or a knee.
It's always it's about game time, I suppose, coming up to World Cup, and he wants to be on that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say himself. With World Cup coming up, I'm sure Sturridge feels that this is a perfect opportunity. He can now get a lot of game time.
I think it's a deal
on the plane.
It's a deal that works out well for everybody. West Brom need goals badly.
Yes.
Sturridge needs playing time badly.
It's an interesting one why he didn't go to Newcastle. But a lot of reports come out is because Sturridge wouldn't favour. He favoured Pardew over Benitez because when he was under Benitez, he felt he wasn't favoured himself.
But look at who we have ahead of him. I don't think he'd have a problem getting a game.
Well, he's an adult. He can make his own decisions.
Yeah, that's true.
It's more for Liverpool. Can Liverpool at this moment in time be okay to letting Sturridge go out on loan with the players they only have in the team?
I mean, Salah in that form.
They're currently playing Firmino up front.
As a
In the middle.
kind of false nine.
He is a false nine. Oh, well, you have players like Mane and Salah, especially Salah at the moment, from the wings, just providing so many goals. It's kind of like, the time Spain had that issue, they didn't really have a centre forward, but it was okay because there's so many attacking midfielders pinging in goals left and right.
I've been more inclined to let Danny Ings go out on loan, but Klopp was adamant that he's going nowhere. It's like he's bloody got icicles on his head. He's been out in the cold for so long.
All I can say is he must be doing something in training.
But like, who else do they? I would have sent it. I would have rather kept Sturridge around. But who else do they have apart from they have Danny Ings, who is injured constantly. He's the new Darren Anderton.
Yeah.
You've got Ryan Brewster, who by all accounts is a phenomenon, but he's 17. And you've got Dominic Solanke.
I was about to say Solanke as well. They got free transfer at the start of the window. But,
would you? Well, let us know. Who would you have sent out on? Would you have kept them all? Would you have got rid of all of them? And what do you reckon to your defensive situation?
Manchester City.
We moved from up the road from Merseyside to Manchester with Manchester City. Only one real big piece of business, but my word, was it a big piece of business. They smashed their club transfer record, 57 million for the release clause of Aymeric Laporte.
Yeah, it's an interesting time too because, well, just in general, going into this transfer window, you look at City, the form they're in, do you think they need to make any signings? With the current side they had, but Pep Guardiola clearly also felt he needed more depth within the side, and as he put it, he needs 22 great players. He feels if they compete in most all competitions,
and City can get 22 great players.
Especially because I think as of now it's shown with the injuries now coming into the City side, like players are starting to get burnt out. I think even Kevin De Bruyne came out there recently and said he's got to that stage now himself where he feels burnt out in most games and he's just looking forward to a break. Because I think he's played more games this season, more than any other outfield player anyway. He's only missed like 3 games, so
when he's in that form, you can't.
You can't not play him. He's been phenomenal, but I think obviously Pep knows that he needs just the more depth and quality.
But look, to anyone who's been playing Football Manager for ages, Laporte is obviously like he's the man.
Pro Evo, he's that defender who's got the potential. Once after a couple of seasons, ends up being great in the game. But in real life, he still hasn't got a cap even for France.
That's true. Yes,
he hasn't got an international cap, and you could say now coming to the Premier League, it's going to be completely different compared to the Spanish league in terms of, like, it's a lot It's a lot more. It's a lot quicker. It's a lot more rough and tumble, and I don't know. And various other cliches. Yeah, it's just can he come in and adapt? But saying that, coming in January, I don't feel that Laporte's going to be looked upon as like going straight into that team.
Although when he did,
Guardiola will manage him, like you say, here and there, coming on as a rotation player, and he'll only get better on the go with Guardiola in that sense to the end of the season. And then next season, I think Guardiola is when he will I think there's going to be that talk and bring him in as more, fighting for first team. I think he's brought him in more now, get the player to settle in, get the style of play, City like to play. I think Guardiola more than anything saw the potential and wanted to get this player snapped up before other teams, possibly even at the end of the season, made a move for him.
I think that there's going to be a major overhaul at City in the summer. And Laporte is going to be at the centre of the rebuilding process. He's 23.
He's on his
debut, he looked like a baller. He looked very comfortable on the ball.
Because the same with a player like John Stones. When City signed him, he was always one of a bit of a overpriced, overpaid. 50 odd million, but since Guardiola's come in, he's really helped him mature as a player at the back, especially because Stones is only known for his feet. It's like as a defender, you need to be good with the old noggin. The noggin, just tackles, etc. As a defender normally would, but Guardiola seems to have been patient with him. And
been giving him. Because I was very sceptical on John Stones when he came in. I thought, why is everyone heaping praise on this lad? He keeps trying to play the ball at the back, keeps losing it, and City keep losing goals, and everyone seems to be fine with this.
It's like, I'm not saying it's the same thing, but he had the same hype behind him as when the first 6 months at Everton, the same as when Jack Rodwell was at Everton.
Oh God!
In terms of hype, he had that good run of games, and he was doubted, he's going to have to sign for a top 4 club. And then Rodwell went to City, actually. And
then went to Sunderland and is now, I think, trying to get out of his contract.
He's trying to wiggle his way out, but Stones had that same kind of hype before he moved to City. You could say the same thing happened, but now under Guardiola, Stones looks like he's been taken down the right path of improvement.
I think so.
But back to but Laporte, he does look like he has the potential, but only time will tell. Really, you can't. I truthfully haven't watched enough of the player to know.
I don't think. Well, say you have everyone's like, oh, the title race is over, which it is, and it's not. So, they didn't need to strengthen. They didn't need to strengthen the team in that regard. Purely to build for next season. I think Laporte is a fine start. One player that City did not get in this January window, Riyad Mahrez, of course, with the big kerfuffle. There's a word.
Yeah, it was an interesting one because he handed in that report, he handed in that transfer request quite late on in the window.
So late in the window.
Because and yes, City were back and forth negotiations with Leicester, and Leicester seemed to have wanted a player part of the deal as well, with 50-60 million on top of that, and
or 95, I think, straight cash.
City kind of like what happened with the Sanchez deal. Like they felt like they were not being outbid the Man United, because it's not like City have short on cash, but it's a strange one because City are starting currently at the moment feel like they have morals when it comes to spending.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
financial fair play perhaps is breathing down their neck.
But that seems to be the case at the minute. But basically, with Leicester basically told them, no, we're not paying that.
I think that on a personal level, I think this is twice he's done this now, and now he's refusing to show up at training and stuff. I think that is an incredibly selfish thing to do for the team that is currently paying your wages and paying you an extortionate amount of wages. Yes, you're the best player in that side, but no player is bigger than. It's a cliche, I guess, but no player is bigger than the club. And if you're disrespecting your, like if your eye didn't turn up to work one day, out the door, no questions asked.
I do feel he has been a good servant for Leicester, but at the same time,
I can see his
in contract on the club, and I know like contracts don't mean much nowadays when it comes to like loyalty, and when a player signs a new 5-6 year deal, that just means more
zeros on the end of the transfer.
More zeros on the end of the transfer fee, really, when they're looking to sell the player. But I don't think City will feel like they have massively missed out.
No,
I don't feel City were not desperate in this window.
No, absolutely not. Like, I can see his point that Drinkwater was allowed to leave, and Kante was allowed to leave, so why can't he go? But there's better ways to go about it, I think. If you don't get your move now, you knuckle down.
I do think
get to the summer to get you, so as to ensure you get your move. Plus your form. I mean, he's picked up his form rapidly. At the start of the season, he was not.
He's been playing in for Leicester again, but
I think
he'll get his move in the summer.
I feel the same way about Mahrez in this scenario as I do about Rooney. I don't understand how United fans could be so loyal to a man who handed in a transfer request twice, and then just purely to get more money onto his contract.
See, that's still a better taste, I think, within a lot of United fans when it comes to Rooney. Like, Rooney was a fantastic servant for the club, but that's still something with a lot of United fans that's still a bit. It's a better taste. Cause
if I was a Leicester City fan, I think I'd be furious anyway. I'd be absolutely fuming that he's refusing to train and he's refusing to play. I think that he should be released from his contract. I know it'll never happen mainly because one, he's a valuable asset to that side when he does play, and two, it would cost them more money to release him from his contract than it probably would be to pay until the end of the season. I feel that he should be at least docked a certain amount of his pay, or given to charity or something to punish him for the way he is acting. I mean, maybe they are doing it internally, but I think that they need to make an example of Mahrez in this scenario.
Do you feel in the summer City will go for him again? Or
I don't think they will need. I think they'll have.
Liverpool might even.
I think that City will have better options to go for in the summer. Staying in Manchester, the red side, your side of Manchester, which is Salford, so technically not Manchester.
Well, it's still within Greater Manchester. Do you know, Brett?
The one lad that you did bring in. Well, you brought in a couple of fringe players, but they don't really matter apparently. Alexis Sanchez, we touched on him earlier with the Mkhitaryan swap deal for Arsenal, but who gets the better end of this deal? What do you think?
Now that we can finally talk about it properly, because we're talking about both clubs, I feel straight up United has got the better deal.
Okay.
Simply because Mkhitaryan, I believe, is a fantastic player, but that loss is kind of, the wounds are healed when you say, oh yeah, you can have Sanchez. Because Sanchez has proven, throughout the years, just how good he is. And it's just to me that I just think Sanchez is that bit better.
I think that you have to look at how each player will fit the team they've gone to, and I think they'll fit in equally as well. I think
it's clearly down to this thing. I think most United fans are just kind of like, at the moment, not confused, but we don't know where Sanchez is going to be playing within the club. Because at Arsenal, he mainly played off the left, or sometimes played even in the middle.
Yeah, he can either play.
But it's like Martial at the moment is like in fantastic form on the left, and most United fans I've been watching or spoke to, they've also said the same things. Like, you kind of can't just take Martial out of there and
just because
and they bring just to accommodate Sanchez, because Martial is finally getting the game time, and he's finally showing his potential.
Yeah.
But then, do you play Sanchez on the right and have him coming in on his weak foot? Because there was it was against City, or against that Spurs game, which I don't really like speaking about because it wasn't a terrible game, but there was one chance during the game where he did cut in and he just, because it was on his weak foot. But I just think it's an interesting one to see where you play. Like, I think he actually might be great as number 10.
Yes, I think
behind
if
Lukaku.
you play him in because then Lukaku can come deep, win the ball, have Sanchez run on.
It's the one thing I've noticed already in Sanchez that he has with Mkhitaryan is his work rate.
But
like, Sanchez is a player who he just always puts in a shift.
But with Sanchez saying that you can play him as a number 10, what can he do that Martial and Rashford can't in that role?
I think, as a United supporter, we can all agree that United at times, like, we're dominating games, we're doing well, we're at 1-0 with 10 minutes to go, and you're not even sure we can kill off the game. It's like that old United, like, always having to win the game in the last 9 minutes of the game. But it's just lately it feels that we keep it's coming too often that you're nervous the last 10 minutes. Like, playing teams like Burnley, Huddersfield are they going to come back within the last 10 minutes and equal this? But I think Sanchez gives I think it's more anything. It's Sanchez's vision in the pitch, and where he knows where to place the ball or pick out a player. But I just think he can help us kill off the team. It's exciting as a Man United fan.
I'd say it is.
It is exciting as a United fan.
Who do you think will do better at their club? Vote in the poll, which is going to be somewhere around above someone's head. Mkhitaryan or Sanchez? Who do you think will do better at their new club? So just before we finish up, we will go through the best of the rest in the January transfer window.
Best. That can be cut, can't it?
Absolutely not.
Oh no.
Spurs only made one signing, as Spurs tend to do these days.
Yeah.
But what Lucas Moura, I think that's for 25 million for pittance.
That's kind of like, as a Manchester United supporter, it's like we signed Sanchez, but for 25 million, Lucas Moura to have as well.
I love it.
Especially as well, he can, he's a traditional right winger.
You can beat him.
Which currently at the club we're lacking. Like, there's no one who's established that position, and it's not even certain Sanchez will be playing on the right. But I think Tottenham have got a great deal there.
I love the fact that Ferguson said when he was 19, he said, "Oh, I wouldn't pay this amount for a teenager," and then United go out and spend 50 million on Anthony Martial. I just think that's a bit fun.
That's for another day.
Speaking, I'd slated him earlier on, but Deulofeu to Watford, he only went and bloody scored in his debut, didn't he? And he won a penalty, so that shut me right up.
I think that's a good signing for Watford. Like, look what he did when he was at Everton. Like, he ended up being a decent signing.
So many players though, Watford. There's so many players.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. That squad needs. Well, I suppose that's with the Potsos as well. They have Granada and Udinese as well, so they can send a lot of players out. Excuse me, on loan when required.
This next player, I feel like you can talk about him because
I shall.
Better than me.
Yes, Kennedy from Chelsea to Newcastle on loan. Now Kennedy, before we signed him on loan, I thought, brilliant, we're signing a racist. That's fantastic. But to be fair, I hadn't seen a great deal of him before he signed. Just bits and pieces here in FA Cup, League Cup games. He is very much impressed.
I did watch him in his first game for Newcastle, and he showed glimpses of.
He's a breath of fresh air.
Going forward, he offers a bit of bit of unpredictable creativity.
He's not scared to go forward and try things, which is what we are lacking massively in that Newcastle side.
Which I feel is probably a breath of fresh air at Newcastle.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
With the lack of depth and signings within Benitez.
Well, his hands are tied. To be fair, I think he'll. Although my worry is that he'll fall into the Ben Arfa kind of category, where he'll be phenomenal and then just be a dick and just not be arsed because he just looks a bit scummy.
But this season, if he can help keep us up,
as long as we stay up, that is the main thing. I think if he helps us stay up, I think we'll go in for a permanent deal in the summer. Leonardo Ajoa from Leicester to Brighton. He was girding for about a year now to get out, and now he's away on loan to sit on Brighton's bench. So fair play to you.
I don't even know if that's better or for worse, or
because they've broken their transfer record, £14 million for Jurgen Locadia, who's coming from, I want to say Feyenoord. I think it's Feyenoord. No, PSV. I'll cut that to make myself look professional. What chances is Joe going to have on to get played? I mean, Glenn Murray's banging in goals at the minute for Brighton, so he's ahead of him. Glenn Murray, who may be going to prison, which is fun. George Kevin Nkudu, he's not going to prison from what I gather. He's gone on loan from Spurs to Burnley, along with Aaron Lennon, of course. So that's their wings covered. I've seen bugger all of them, Nkudu, since he signed. 14 million, I think he cost Spurs, and he's done absolutely nothing. So I have no idea what he can bring to that Burnley side.
I suppose it's great for Spurs to see what he can do. Because they haven't played him yet.
Alex Pritchard from Norwich to Huddersfield. That's a thing that happened. Islam Slimani from Leicester to Newcastle.
How do you feel about that one?
Very happy. I'm very, very happy because
you have players.
We have a player.
The same player.
Because look at who's up. He's up against Dwight Gale. He's up against Joselu, and he's up against Ayoze Perez. I am sick of sticking up for Ayoze Perez.
And you have quite a bit.
Dwight Gale, I never really rated, and Joselu is just an absolute. I mean, when your own fans boo you when you take a penalty, that's a sign that you're a bit rubbish and no one trusts you.
That's not a great sign. Especially when you're looking to score a penalty for your team.
Yeah, legitimately, stick the corner flag up front. He'll at least have a better touch. Slimani, he was an expensive mistake, I think, for Leicester, but he's very good in the air. And we seem to get a lot of our goals from set pieces recently. So I'd rather have him as not. Jack Harrison, this is a very interesting one. This is City's other piece of business for $4 million.
Yeah.
From New York City FC. I've seen a lot of Jack Harrison, and I really, really like him. I think he's very, very good. I don't think he'll ever break into the City side, ever.
It's going to be difficult.
But Middlesbrough, who's gone on loan to, I think will get a lot of use out of him, and I think he'll absolutely tear it up in the Championship. Speaking of the Championship, Alexander Mitrovic has gone to Fulham on loan.
And how do you feel about that?
I could not give any less of a word that will get me demonetised. Mitrovic, he has a reputation amongst a lot of Newcastle fans as oh, he's a fighter, he'll get stuck in, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's good and all, but if he keeps getting sent off, he keeps getting bookings that will accumulate to bans and not scoring goals. Admittedly, he hasn't really got much of a chance, but I mean, he's such a volatile character, you don't want to take a chance on him. So, yeah, go to Fulham, score some goals, do some stuff. Guido Carrillo, Monaco to Southampton for a club record £19 million. Now they need a goal scorer rather badly.
So yeah, Southampton need goal scorers, and they're putting their eggs in their basket, making a club record signing and hoping that Carrillo's the man. But
he looked alright, to be fair, but he's not exactly prolific, to be fair. Just all I know about him is stats. I've looked up about him, and he just looks like he's going to be an expensive flop for me personally. Andre Ayew, this is a weird one. This is West Ham being typically.
He's had a strange career, at the stage now. He's just kind of getting about.
He's just bouncing between West Ham and Swansea.
He's turning into a bike. He's just getting about.
He's just getting up.
It's just the town bike, and
the town bike. Everyone's having a go.
Gets fed up a bit with him, and
that's
it looks like he's got all the potential. He's got pace. He's got everything, but he just can't establish himself within a club.
Tell you one that did actually baffle me was Roque Mesa being sent back. He was sent on loan to Sevilla by Swansea. That I think is a ridiculous piece of business, because Roque Mesa is the best player that they have, at least in that midfield, let alone possibly that entire squad. And they replaced him with Andy King on loan. I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. Swansea, if you...
I think they have a
do you do?
fantastic. He must have a fantastic agent.
He must do. Plus Sevilla, a Champions League team who are perennially brilliant in Europe.
United are playing soon.
Yeah, like, there's, there must be. Does that not tell you something that a Champions League team is coming in for one of your players and you're happy to let him go?
Yes.
Just saying. And finally, the other big kind of notable transfer, apart from Bakary Sagna to Benevento on a free, is Diafra Sakho finally getting out of West Ham.
Yeah.
And going to Rennes for around £5 million after he stopped gurning. So.
I think he'll be a good signing for Rennes.
Yes.
He'll be okay.
He'll be fine. I think
he's the happier of the two parties because he's finally getting out of West Ham.
Yeah, and wouldn't you be happy to get out of West Ham yourself? So that is all the main deals in England and the Premier League. Not to forget, there's the Europe as well.
Yeah,
but it was just a lot less happening in Europe really. Most expensive deal, obviously Coutinho, Liverpool to Barcelona. That's fine. Cedric Bakambu as well. This was a massive surprise to me. Went from Villarreal to Beijing. I can't even pronounce the second part of that. Money. A lot of they paid his 45 million release fee.
Yeah, so money was a big influence in that transfer. Like
it's really weird. I don't understand though. Why is he? He's in the prime of his career.
It is strange, but it shows basically like a lot of players' motivations. They're just playing for trophies or money, and his
seems to be. Well, why
not?
A bit of the old cheddar.
Best loan move was Rafinha. I feel to Barcelona the Inter Milan.
That's a phenomenal piece of business. He's so good and he's so underrated.
And he's going to get more game time
and he's
as well. And
so versatile as well.
So it's a good loan move all around, really.
I think it works perfectly well for everybody. To replace Aymeric Laporte, Bilbao went for Inigo Martinez from Sociedad. So yeah, he's gone from one rival to another. He said he wanted to move for a different challenge, even though he's moved an hour up the road.
In the same league.
So I think they paid his release fee anyway. So I think partially. Well, I suppose he could have just said no. But this one depresses me as a 27-year-old man.
Especially the fee, because 17 million for a 16-year-old.
For a 16-year-old Pietro Pellegrini from Genoa to Monaco. 16 years of age.
I know Monaco was never short of cash, but they got quite a bit of income from the players they sold the past 2 windows, because after winning the league themselves, they've sold so many key players, especially players like Mbappe and
Bakayoko. He's got 3 goals in 10 senior appearances, which is mental for a 16-year-old lad, and that's all. He's a kid, and he's a 17 million. I'd love to see him come good, because I want to just see this lad.
Fair play there.
Come good. Fair play. Like, God love you. You've done well.
He's done alright. He doesn't even need GCSEs currently. He's made it in like.
He doesn't even need to be able to.
16-year-old.
He doesn't even need to be able to spell GCSE with the money that he'll be on. And finally, the most notable rest of the round Europe deals.
Robin van Persie.
Robin van Persie has gone home to Feyenoord from Fenerbahce. Your boy. One of your former boys.
Great memories. Still one of my favourite goals of all time is it was the game that won us the league that season.
Against Villa, was it?
Yes, the one Rooney ball right over the shoulder to Van Persie, and he just.
Funnily enough, he has scored my possibly favourite not my favourite goal. My favourite goal of all time is Samuel Eto'o against Panathinaikos in the Champions League. But whatever. He scored one of my if not my favourite Premier League goal against Charlton. Ball comes in. It's like a knee.
Oh, is that
the big volley where it's like chest height, and he's got his boot up chest, and he bangs it in the top corner. It's a
completely thunder.
Oh, it's a thunder ladies area. So that is pretty much the transfer window. Obviously, we've missed out a lot of deals. We couldn't get through all of them.
There was like 500 odd deals.
So I'm not sitting here for that. I've got stuff to be at.
That's a lot of time to spend on a video.
Yes, but so we'll just quickly before we sign off. Michael, who had the best and worst window for you?
I feel like for Arsenal, for the players they lost, they still had good business. For what you can do in January,
yes,
you can only I feel like most clubs want to do so much in January, and they're going to have to pay sometimes over the odds within during the season. But for me, it's Arsenal. But did like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people maybe feel that Liverpool did have a good window. You know, because they needed a defender badly. But even if they had to pay over the odds for Van Dijk, is it? You know, only time will tell if it's worth it. But
I think Van Dijk. I think they should have done more in Liverpool. I mean, it's grand what you're bringing in Van Dijk, but he's not going to solve your problem overnight. I agree with you totally that Arsenal have had the best window. I think that's.
I think out of the Premier League clubs, they probably have the best window.
I think so. And the worst window?
Well, I think you're going to have to include your team.
I think so.
Newcastle. I feel like it's not Benitez's fault.
No,
I feel as well.
his hands are tied and he's done what he can.
Yeah, Benitez has been doing what. Benitez done fantastic. He stayed, you know, at
he stayed
the club.
loyal,
He stayed loyal at the club when he came in so late to try and keep the club up.
Especially in the Championship.
Yeah, he was given the back in the Championship. You know, and got the team back in the league. And
although we made a right arse of that. God almighty.
Oh, he's left at very last minute.
Jack Grealish. Well done, son. I don't hate you as much for choosing England over Ireland. Bournemouth didn't sign anyone. They literally signed nobody. West Ham being their typically usually rubbish. Like, how is there a worse run club in England than West Ham? Like in the Premier League?
It's just there's something almost every week now at the minute about, like, you know, recently there about there's kind of like the whole racism thing. About
they're not signing African players because they're lazy and have an attitude.
Very bizarre that the club would even say anything. Just in general, just West Ham's owners, like, they need to learn that sometimes the best thing to say is nothing.
Yeah, just to shut up. Plus they're...
There's only so many bubbles you can shoot in a bigger stadium like that.
So that is it. That is the transfer window pretty much covered to the best of our ability, which is limited to say the very least. Who do you think had the best and worst windows? Any deals that we missed out on that you think we should have discussed? So that is it. Let us know in the comment section.
Comment box
in
below.
the doobly-doo down there. So until then, if you did like this video, do give it a big one of them. That would be great. If you could, there you go. We got there. And hit that subscribe button for more videos of us. Why wouldn't you want that in your life? From Michael, the sexual wank pheasant himself, and myself, the not so sexual wank. I'd say I'm more of a wank gerbil.
We should probably just cut this now.
Yes, I think so. Bye.